What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Baseline with Colton Turner. This is going to be our round 4 review. I know I didn't have a video out or audio out for round 3. Been busy for the past few days, so I didn't get to. But we're here for the round 4 just to acknowledge the round 3, what happened. Novak Djokovic goes out to Popyrin in the third round. Popyrin really taking it to Novak Djokovic, and the one possibly first favorite for the tournament goes out relatively early, not having happened for him for an early round loss since mid 2000s. I don't know the exact date, but it's been a long time since an early round, relatively for him, an early round exit to go out in a major. And this will be the first year that none of the big three have won a Grand Slam tournament since, I believe, the 2003 2004 range. So it's been like 20 years. 20 years since one of those three have not won a Grand Slam, at least one of them in a calendar year. So things are changing. Well, I don't believe that we're going to see anything else from Djokovic this year. He's probably like, oh, I've accomplished what I wanted to. I'm good. I'll see you next year. That's probably going to be it. We don't expect to see him anymore, but we'll see what goes on. So for the fourth round, we'll start with the men. Jannik Sinner takes on Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul really putting up a fight for the first two sets, both going into the tiebreakers, but just kind of unraveling in that third. I kind of think it was he got mentally believing, oh, he got so close to winning those sets, but couldn't pull it out for the first two, and it kind of just releasing or unleashing after that. So pretty sad for Tommy Paul, one of our American hopefuls. He goes out in the fourth round. Jannik Sinner meets Medvedev, looking pretty dominant in the fourth round, going against kind of a under radar player, Borgs. But Borgs doing really well, making a good run in the majors. So looking forward to see what he comes up with in the future. And Jack Draper and de Minaur, they meet in the quarterfinal, really taking advantage of that gap or that chasm that was left by the second round exit of Carlos Alcaraz, really taking it to their advantage for it. De Minaur, I've heard a lot of people kind of really pushing for him to make that win into the semifinals against Jack Draper. A lot of people have been talking about him. He's very much a fighter, very angsty on the court, runs down everything, and he has been looking fairly well. He did win in a 4-set match against fellow compatriot Jordan Thompson, and Draper beating Mahak relatively comfortably. They meet in the quarterfinals. Taylor Fritz, he goes on to the quarterfinals, having beaten Casper Ruud in 4 sets, facing Zverev, beating another American, Nakashima, in another 4-set, and they are set to meet. That is going to be a blast of hitters, blast of power in that match. Fritz and Zverev, very good. Zverev having a really, really good serve. How is Fritz going to handle that with seeing first serves for the vast majority of the time? And if he does see a second serve, how will he be able to take advantage of that change, of that slower paced serve? Zverev is really consistent, really good. He's going to put up a big fight. And lastly, Grigor Dimitrov and Frances Tiafoe meet in the bottom section of the bottom half of the quarterfinals draw. Grigor Dimitrov, one of the people that you would say are the best people next to Zverev to have not won a major. This is probably, for anybody, outside of Sinner and Medvedev, this is probably their best chance to win a major. And Grigor Dimitrov, you know, we haven't had a one-hander winner since Roger Federer, and people believe that the era of the one hand has been diminishing and that we're never going to see another Grand Slam winner for the one-hander backhands. And Grigor Dimitrov really putting up a fight. Can he be that person to dissuade those rumors? Facing Francis Tiafoe, who really likes to take advantage of the crowd and really use them against his opponents. And that is going to be a really good match to see. With my picks, hopefully we see an All-American semifinal to push one into that final. You know, being an American myself, we can always hope for that. But that is the fourth round results for the men's side. Going on to the women's, Iga having moved on to the quarterfinals, facing Pegula. That is, you know, I believe that Swiatek will probably win that match, but Jessica has been looking really good for these past few weeks, reaching the title in Toronto and the finals in Cincinnati, and she's just continuing to build on that, having very comfortable matches to go up to the quarterfinals, facing her biggest opponent yet in Iga. How is she going to handle that occasion? How is she going to bring the crowd to her side? Can she get in Iga's head to pull off that win? Haddad Maia faces Mukova, having beaten Paolini in that fourth round. Paolini being the finalist for the French Open and Wimbledon. People were wanting to see if she could pull it off again to reach her third Grand Slam final in a row in the U.S. Open, but she falls short of it in the fourth round against Mukova. Mukova being very kind of really under the radar. At least in my case, I haven't seen a lot of buzz about her, but she has been coming in very, very good form from a leave that has really been like an effect in her life, but she has come out guns blazing to face off Haddad Maia in the quarterfinals. That is a very, very opportunistic match for her to reach that semifinals to face either Iga or Pegula. Paula Badosa faces Emma Navarro in the quarterfinals. Navarro having beaten the last year reigning champion Coco Gauff in a 3-set match. Coco Gauff, 19 double faults. How is she going to figure these yips out? You know, we saw Sabalenka, I think 2 years ago, also facing serving yips. Really just could not get a regular serve in on a regular basis, and it was really affecting her. But we saw her come out of the offseason to better her serve, and look, she's now a 2-time Australian Open champion. So I wouldn't be too concerned about Coco Gauff. She's facing a obstacle in her tennis game, and it's just something that she's going to have to look about getting through. She does go down in the rankings, having lost those points from the previous year championship. I believe that she falls to, so far in the live rankings, 6th in the world. So she is going to look to build back on that after the U.S. Open ends. But Navarro, one of my favorites to win the tournament, faces Badosa. Badosa looking very good, very strong. But Emma Navarro, she is a mentally resilient player. Really doesn't allow anything to get in her head, or at least it doesn't show. It doesn't show. And, you know, that is going to be a match that we hope that she can, you know, she's probably not the type of person, like personality-wise, to get the American crowd involved, but is that a factor that she can use against Paula Badosa? Paula Badosa can be a little bit more versatile in her emotions. So what can Emma do outside of her tennis game to get her in the advantage against Paula Badoza. Lastly, Qinwen Zhang faces Sabalenka in a rematch from the Australian Open finals at the beginning of this year. Zhang has been looking very good with her serve. She faced Donna Vekic in the fourth round, but really just lasering that first serve and has been looking very consistent with it. In this match with Sabalenka loves to just go power for power and, going past her opponents or surpassing them in power. Can Zhang handle Sabalenka this time? Can she throw in more variety now with that serve to put Sabalenka at a disadvantage, going out wide with those balls, pulling her so she can open up that court? Sabalenka, if she faces a ball that she can possibly hit for a winner, she will. And Sabalenka is probably the favorite to win this tournament. Can Zhang put a stop to her in the quarterfinals? That is going to be our fourth round review of the U.S. Open. Looking forward to see how the quarterfinals turn out, and we will see you next time. Take care.